Imagine stepping out for your morning coffee, only to catch a whiff of burning memories. Your family's priceless heirlooms torched right in your backyard by the self-appointed queen of suburbia. That's exactly what happened to Alex Rivera, a quiet software engineer who'd moved to the picture-perfect but suffocating enclave of Maple Grove, Virginia, thinking he'd found tranquility after years of online smears and workplace whispers that painted him as some unhinged troublemaker. But on that crisp spring Saturday, the acrid smoke wasn't from a neighbor's barbecue. It was the HOA's proactive cleanup, and it was about to unleash a storm of dark comedy and sweet, savage justice. Alex had always been the type to observe rather than explode. Back in his old job, rumors had swirled. Anonymous posts claiming he'd sabotaged a project out of jealousy. Whispers that he was unstable after a messy layoff. He knew who started them, a bitter ex-colleague with a grudge. But Alex didn't fight back then. He documented, waited, and moved on, landing in Maple Grove to start fresh with his wife, Mia, and their young daughter, Lily. The neighborhood looked idyllic: manicured lawns, white picket fences, community newsletters preaching harmony through standards. Little did he know, those standards were enforced by Mrs. Vivian Hargrove, the HOA president, a woman who wielded her clipboard like a scepter and her community values like a weapon. Vivian was the epitome of polished pettiness. Mid-50s, always in pastel cardigans, quoting bylaws with the fervor of a televangelist. But behind the smiles, she manipulated rumors to keep her iron grip on the board. Fear of losing her prestigious position made her paranoid, turning minor infractions into crusades. That morning, Alex sipped his coffee on the porch, the dew-kissed grass sparkling under the sun. Peaceful, right? Until the smell hit sharp, chemical, like plastic and fabric melting into oblivion. His mug slipped, coffee pooling at his feet. Heart pounding, he dashed around the garage, and there it was, a makeshift bonfire raging in his yard, flames devouring a familiar blue storage bin. Two guys in matching green HOA polos poked at it lazily with rakes, while Vivian stood overseer, arms folded, her sunglasses hiding eyes that probably gleamed with self-righteous glee. What the hell? Alex's voice cracked the air, but he held back, observing her posture, the tilt of her head, like she was appraising a bad paint job. Vivian turned slowly, her lips curving into that practiced HOA smile. "Ah, Mr. Rivera. Just handling some unsightly clutter." This bin was left near the property line. Clear violation of Section 3. Subsection C. No abandoned items in view. "We're maintaining standards here." One of the workers jabbed deeper, and Alex's stomach twisted as he spotted it. Shreds of old letters, photos curling in the heat, the glint of a silver locket, his grandmother's, passed down with stories of her immigration from Mexico, symbols of resilience that had gotten him through those rumor-filled years. His mom had dropped it off last week, misty-eyed. "Keep these safe, Alex. They're our history. Now, they were clutter? That's my family's heirlooms," Alex barked, stepping closer, heat blasting his face. "You trespassed and set fire to my property." Vivian arched a perfectly plucked eyebrow, unfazed. "Heirlooms? It looked like junk, dear. Musty old papers and trinkets, eyesore. Really. We expedited remediation for the greater good. You understand, community aesthetics trump sentiment." Her tone was saccharine, laced with that faux concern HOA Tyrants mastered, but her eyes flicked to the workers, urging them on. Make sure it's all consumed, boys. No debris left to mar the view. Alex's fists clenched, nails digging into palms. He could feel the old rumors echoing, people calling him unstable, but he bit back the rage, snapping photos on his phone instead. This wasn't just destruction. It was Vivian's way of asserting dominance, probably after spotting the bin during one of her inspections. He watched as the locket melted, a final puff of smoke carrying away generations of stories. The workers chuckled under their breath, one muttering, "Boss lady's on a roll today." Vivian nodded approvingly, her posture screaming, "I'm in charge here." By the time the fire died to embers, Alex was seething but silent. Neighbors peeked from windows, whispering already Vivian's network at work, no doubt spinning this as him being negligent. He called the sheriff's department, voice steady as he recounted the trespass and arson. 2 deputies arrived, sirens wailing faintly, approaching with that bored caution of folks expecting a lawn dispute. The male deputy, notepad in hand, listened while the female scanned the smoldering pit. "They burned my family's history," Alex said, pointing to the warped plastic. "Irreplaceable stuff, letters, photos, a locket from my abuela." The deputy scratched his head. "Well, if it was deemed a violation per HOA rules, this might be civil, sir. No clear criminal intent." Alex's jaw dropped. "They lit a fire on my land. That's not civil. That's destruction." The female deputy offered a sympathetic shrug. "We get your frustration, but HOAs have broad powers. File a grievance internally. That's the channel." Alex thanked them through gritted teeth, watching their cruiser vanish. The system, built on order, had just shrugged at chaos. Inside, Mia hugged him, eyes wide. "This is insane. Alex." "What now?" He forced a calm smile. "We watch. We wait." She's overplayed her hand. That evening, the house felt oppressive. Lily played upstairs, oblivious, while Mia cooked dinner, the aroma clashing with the lingering smoke smell turning Alex's stomach. He retreated to his home office, the familiar hum of his computer at anchor. Rumors had already started online. Neighborhood Facebook group buzzing with, "Did you see Rivera's trash pile? Good on HOA for cleaning up." Vivian's fingerprints all over it. Her posts preaching, upholding our cherished standards. Alex didn't comment. He screenshot everything, building a file. He'd been through this before, silence as strategy. But inside, a cold fury coiled. Vivian thought she could label him problematic, like those old whispers. She'd learn. Days later, a knock at the door. A neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, fidgety and glancing around. "I saw what happened, Alex. Vivian's been on a power trip, finding me for my bird feeder last month. Said it attracts vermin." "Ridiculous." Alex nodded, probing gently. "Any others?" She whispered names. Tales of petty fines for holiday lights too bright or cars parked improperly. He thanked her, adding to his notes. Vivian's trat order was a facade for control, her fear of losing the presidency making her escalate. At dinner, Mia asked, "You're not letting this go, are you?" Alex's eyes hardened. "No. But we'll do it smart." The inciting whispers grew. At the grocery store, eyes followed Alex, Vivian's machine churning. "Heard he's got anger issues from his old job. Probably why he left that bin out, to provoke." He overheard it at the park. Lily on the swings. 2 moms clucking, Poor Vivian, dealing with troublemakers. Alex smiled inwardly. Their hypocrisy was gold. He started small, attending an HOA meeting, sitting in the back, observing Vivian's performance. She banged the gavel, voice dripping morality. Fellow residents, we must preserve our harmony. Recent violations remind us. Rules protect us all. Questions about the fire? She deflected smoothly. A necessary action for aesthetics. Next item. Alex didn't speak, but he recorded, noting her nervous tick, fiddling with her pearls when challenged. Tension built as Alex dug deeper. He befriended Emily, the HOA office assistant, over coffee. Nervous, eyes darting, she spilled. Vivian's terrified of elections. She twists votes, spreads dirt on rivals. Emily slipped him emails, internal memos showing Vivian authorizing surprise inspections on problem residents, including him. One read, Rivera seems unstable, monitor closely. Can't have disruptions. Alex's blood boiled, but he stayed cool. Thanks, Emily. This stays between us. Back home, he cross-referenced with public records. Vivian's fines disproportionately targeted newcomers, minorities subtle, but pattern clear. Mia watched him work late. You're building a case? He nodded. Her empire's on sand. The escalation hit with a petty bang. An envelope in the mail. Violation notice for overgrown mailbox planter. A single wilting flower. Photo attached. Dated right after the fire. Fine, $200. Retaliation. Pure and absurd. Alex laughed. A bitter, cough-in rage chuckle that startled Mia. A flower? She's scraping the barrel. But it fueled him. Vivian's lopsided logic shone. Preaching community while harassing. He paid the fine publicly, posting a polite query on the group. Clarification on planter rules? Happy to comply. Comments flooded, some supportive, others Vivian's shills. Follow the bylaws. Or move out. She replied herself. Standards apply equally, Mr. Rivera. For the greater good. Alex's patience paid off. He contacted a local reporter anonymously, leaking the emails and stories from neighbors. The article dropped, Maple Grove HOA, Petty Power or Tyranny? Detailing the fire, fines, Vivian's manipulations. The neighborhood erupted, group chats buzzing, meetings packed. Vivian, cornered, called an emergency session. Her voice shrill. These are baseless smears. I act only for order. But cracks showed, her face flushed, pearls twisted tighter. Alex attended. Front row now. When she ranted about disruptive elements, he stood calmly. Like burning heirlooms, Mrs. Hargrove, or finding a flower, gasped. She sputtered. That was per rules. You left it abandoned. He held up printouts. Emails show you targeted me. Why? The room tensed. Vivian's facade cracking, her moral speeches now laughable excuses. We must maintain standards. A neighbor snorted. Standards like your pool parties ignoring noise rules? Laughter rippled, dark, satisfying. Vivian banged the gavel futilely. Order. This is insubordination. But the tide turned. Motions for her removal flew. Alex watched. He inside as her power crumbled under her own absurdity. The climax unfolded at Vivian's annual community gala. Her fortress of a home. Invite only for loyalists. Alex, armed not with weapons but evidence, slipped in via a caterer's tip from Emily. The garden buzzed. Champagne, laughter, Vivian holding court in sequins, preaching to sycophants. Our enclave thrives on discipline, she toasted. Alex approached, folder in hand. Mrs. Hargrove, she turned, smile freezing. Mr. Rivera, this is private. Before security stirred, he laid the folder on the hors d'oeuvres table, spilling caviar. Let's discuss real violations, yours. Gasps as guests peered. Leaked memos, fine patterns, even her undeclared gifts from contractors. Vivian's face paled, then reddened. This is forgery, security, but Alex's voice cut through, calm and cutting. You burned my abuela's locket, called it debris, hid behind bylaws while manipulating votes. Thought you were untouchable. A guest murmured, is this true? Another laughed nervously. Finding a flower? That's nuts. Vivian stammered. For the community. You don't understand sacrifice. Alex smirked. Sacrifice? Like spreading rumors about my instability to silence me. Sirens wailed. Someone called authorities, but not for him. Reporters swarmed. Vivian's kingdom exposed. In the fallout, Vivian's mask shattered completely. The HOA board ousted her amid lawsuits. Residents emboldened, sharing tales of her absurd edicts, banning unsightly doormats, fining for wrong shade of mulch. She resigned in disgrace, retreating as a pariah, her moral high ground revealed as a hill of hypocrisy. Alex, cleared of smears, he became a quiet hero veterans groups, ironically, tying to his observed resilience, rallied, but he shunned spotlight. Mia hugged him tighter. Lily played freely. The neighborhood breathed easier. Rules reformed. Yet scars lingered. Alex reflected on autumn walks. Had he gone too far, mirroring her manipulations? Or was clever exposure the only way against entrenched pettiness? The peace returned. Fragile but real, no more whispers, just lessons in patience's power. So, was Alex the villain for turning the tables? Or was Vivian's overreach the real crime? Drop your thoughts below, right or wrong, or somewhere in that gray suburban hell.